It's gonna be hard to upload this, but I really don't give a fuck. So I have a 7-year-old, and she's autistic. I don't got no village. But you bitches that be like, oh, I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world, is a fucking lie. A fucking lie. I would change it. Motherfuckers judge, but no help. Every day, constantly. Worried about what the fuck I'm doing and not worried about my mental and about what the fuck I got going on. Pray it away. Where the fuck it's gonna go? I can't pray no fucking autism away. How about you pray for me? How about that? And I don't even do shit like this, but I know it's a lot of moms on here that'll get me. Cause my family don't. I'm just all over the place right now. I can't even stop moving. Yeah, fucking lie.
If you've never had an IEP meeting, you don't understand. If your child has never been in pain and been unable to tell you what's going on, you don't understand. If you've never watched your child struggle because they're dysregulated and they don't know how to make themselves feel better, you don't understand. If you've never had to wonder, is she gonna try to leave the school building today? You don't understand. If you've never had to worry about your kid eating enough, you don't understand. If you've never had to deal with people watching your kids dim like there's something fucking wrong with them, you don't understand. If you've never had, you just don't understand. You don't understand. It's not a death sentence. It's not a fucking tragedy. It's not a horror story. It's not this thing that the government needs to like get down to the bottom of and fix. You don't understand. It's okay to say you don't understand something.
Guys, nobody ever talks how hard it is to keep it together while your kid is having a crisis and he's like beating you up. It's so draining just trying to hold him down. I have a 8-year-old and he's so big. I had a 10-pound 6-pound baby and he just keeps getting bigger and he's just getting stronger. He gets aggressive sometimes and it's really hard to restrain him from hurting himself and hurting me, and you still have to keep it together. People need to stop romanticizing having kids. Like, you don't need to have kids. Like, I love my kid, but it's so hard. I tell my mom that if in the next life I'm not having no kids, in my next life, even if I'm like a fucking dog, I'm not having no kids. Like, this shit's traumatizing as fuck. There's more and more kids coming out with autism, and that shit's not for the weak. And I fucking hate it when people are like, God gave you him because you can handle it. Fuck, no, I can't. I can't. I literally just dropped him off to ABA therapy, and my kid is like, before we left the house, he was having a horrible meltdown, fucking punched me in the face, throwing everything. I was restraining him for like fucking 30 minutes. We get in the car, I finally got him to come down. He fell asleep, he woke up like nothing, which is amazing. I'm so happy that he's amazing, but I'm over here fucking and distraught, trying not to have a panic attack. because all the emotions I had to keep in while he was having a fucking crisis. Mind you, my kid's medicated, so you can just imagine if he wasn't. Anyways, I'm just venting. This is hard. Please, if you don't have kids, just stay like that. If you're in your 30s, you're not missing out. I promise you. Live your life. Do everything you want to do. This is not the life I planned for or I hoped for. I always wanted to be a mom, but I feel like I got robbed because this is not the life I wanted as a mom. I never expected to have a kid with autism, and I think the hardest part for me is I still haven't grieved the part of me having a normal kid, taking him to soccer practices, doing normal shit with him. I still haven't done that. And he's 8. So yes, you guys.
Being a mom of a newly diagnosed autistic child on this app is horrific. I had to take a break from this app because I was scrolling all day long just trying to figure out things that I could do to help my son. What I found were these children who were severely autistic, were nonverbal, and then they turn and they show these videos of them completely verbal. They've turned it all around. They're in school, they're reading, they're writing, they're doing these amazing things. So I run to their page because I so desperately want those things for my son as well. And I click on their links and they're just trying to sell me a $1,000 ebook or handbook or course or whatever it is that they're selling. It just breaks my heart that you could prey on the love and the desperation that I have to make a quick buck. It's really just heartbreaking because if I had those answers, if I could help someone hear their child speak for the first time, I would shout it from the rooftop so that no mother has to ever feel the way that I'm feeling. People take these wins that their children are accomplishing and dangle it in front of other people's faces as a way to make money. I just think that that is so wrong to do to other mothers. I know in my heart that buying that $1,000 ebook isn't going to do anything for my son. It's a scam, just like all these other things that people are trying to sell me. In the back of my head, I'm like, but if I could only just spend this $1,000, maybe my son will tell me what he wants for dinner tonight. Maybe he'll finally tell me he loves me. I don't know. I'm clearly having a bad day today, so hopefully tomorrow's a better one, and we'll see how that goes.
I kicked my mentally ill 12-year-old out of my house 3 years ago, and I don't regret it at all. And here's why. So from the time my daughter was literally born, all she did was cry. She would cry. I would cry. We were both crying. And then I had her brother when she was 14 months old, and that was probably not a good idea. But I was young, I was dumb, and it happened. Things never improved. Never. She has always been violent, uncontrollable, never slept, literally her entire life. The reason that she no longer lives in my household is because of her violence. She does have several diagnoses. We are currently getting her tested for autism, but that is not one of her diagnoses right now, even though she does have a lot of sensory issues. She began hurting her siblings unprovoked at the age of, I would say, 5 or 6. That's when she really started to hurt people. And now she's bigger than I am, and she hurts adults at this point. She is very dangerous. We are currently trying to wean her off of all of her medications so we can start fresh, because the last, I would say, year and a half, her aggression and everything has gotten so much worse. It's really bad right now. We have looked into residential resources, but since she has had assault charges pressed on her, unfortunately, nowhere in our state will take her.
My daughter was healed from the demonic spirit that causes autism, or what we know in the world as autism. And a lot of people don't believe that, or they struggle to believe that. And I always wonder what makes it so hard to believe. As believers, we know that majority, if not everything we go through, is more spiritual than it is physical in this world. So anyway, I was thinking, as somebody that used to watch a whole bunch of horror films, like just demonic movies, I'm wondering if people are not able to draw that connection between what's actually demonic and what's not because of a lot of these movies. In the movies, it's super drawn out, it's super exaggerated, demon possessed. It's just always this super drawn out, super crazy scene, super demonic. And I do believe that some cases like that do exist. That's not every case. It's not always going to be that extreme, you know. And like I said, I used to watch these movies and it just made me wonder, like, is the fact that these movies are so dramatic part of the reason why we don't understand like what all is actually demonic in this world? Is because we have this picture in our mind of what demon possessed people look like because of these movies and because of these films. But in reality, y'all, like, that's just the most extreme case. Like, a lot of the things we go through is spiritual. So it's just like, it makes me wonder, is that part of the ploy, like, from the enemy, like, to have us think that is like the only demon possessed situation that there is? Like, this is what it looks like to a T? Because me trying to put the word out there and help other people and share, you know, hey, this is a demon, because you have this picture in your mind of what a demon possessed person looks like because of these movies and these films, it's like it instantly makes you go into defense mode. It makes you put blinders on, and it just makes me think, like, is that part of the ploy from the enemy so that people can continue to stay bound, so we can basically have this picture in our head and be deceived, so that the everyday normal things that we go through doesn't register to us as demonic? I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think. It's just something that crossed my mind, and I really feel like that is the case. But y'all let me know what y'all think. The devil just really wants us deceived. I really just believe that those movies are part of the ploy, part of the plot, just so people can have this one image in their head. But in reality, like, man, that's just the most extreme case. Like, if we just expect that every single time, we're never gonna get out of this bondage. So yeah, I just wanted to share. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Really tired of everybody not understanding, like, not knowing how hard this shit is. Literally, like, every day having nobody, not an aunt, not an uncle, not nothing, like, literally nothing to help you. Like, this shit is so fucking sad, bro. Schools, everything, like, people don't speak about this shit enough. Having a kid with autism is so fucking much, and it's so stressful. Like, talk about from getting kicked out of schools to not having family members help you. Like, literally have to pay everybody, bro. Like, losing my job, like, this shit is fucking with me, bro. Like, nobody speaks about this shit enough. Like, there's no fucking help for young mothers. They have nobody. Like, I'm so tired of this shit, literally. Not a mom, not an aunt, not a nothing. Yo. Autism sucks.
I'm going to say something out loud that I feel like is ugly inside of me. And it may make me cry. So if showing your authentic emotions triggers you for some reason, you might want to scroll. But I'm so jealous. Yeah, it's jealousy. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous of all the moms that are picking up backpacks and meeting the teacher and preparing their kids for kindergarten. I have a 6-year-old, my perfect, beautiful 6-year-old with his big blue eyes, who will not be starting kindergarten because he is in full-time ABA therapy for autism. And I'm so jealous of all the moms that are experiencing the things that I had planned to experience right now. And I'm not getting to, instead I'm turning in a piece of paper to the school district that says that he's enrolled full-time in ABA. Just buy the damn school supplies. I'm so jealous that you get to do that. And that after you take them to school, you get to pick them up and ask them how their day went, and they can tell you what they did. I'm so jealous. But I'm working on it.
You can't even take a quick shower with an autistic child. You cannot take your eyes off of an autistic child. I tried to jump in the shower real quick. So I ran downstairs to get something. And I'm wondering why my child is grabbing my water bottles and running up the steps. So I'm chasing him up the steps to see what the fuck he's doing. This is what the fuck he's doing. Literally throwing everything out of the fucking window. When I said people don't understand what it's like to have an autistic child, this is one of the things I'm talking about. You can't take your eyes off of them. You can't. I'm so motherfucking aggravated right now. I don't know what the fuck to do. Now I got to go outside and get the shit up. I can't even fucking brush my teeth. Damn.
It's so heartbreaking, right? This is really not my kind of videos anyways, but I saw that video and those videos, and I was so moved to actually talk about it. You see people, especially mothers who have kids with special needs like autism. Those people are different species from heaven. I won't lie to you, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't have any, right? But anytime I see women or mothers that have children, autistic kids, my heart goes out to them, because imagine all the things this thing come with. Now that child sometimes might go through a lot of things, and then you as a mother might not be there. Even as a mother, if you're in the mall, you're shopping, you're somewhere, your mind will never be at rest. Your mind will always be somewhere else in the house. It is really, really tasking. Those people are supposed to be, I don't know, in a fair society and society that really cares about people's welfare, I think these people should be really considered to probably giving them more salary, or probably them not working and then getting all their supplies. To be honest, churches should even be doing this for them, because a lot of them believe so much in God, and so they belong to one church or the other. I believe churches are even meant to come in and see how they can help these people, because it's not easy. Some of the parents are even angry. What if anything happens to them today and they're not there? What happens to the child? How would this child cope? It's another thing. Recently, a mom I love so much, I follow her so much on this YouTube. She has an autistic son that is very, very talented, but he hardly speaks fine and all of that. And I see the effort she puts, looking at the fact that the father of the child is no longer in their life, because this is also a problem most of those parents go through. The men they have these kids with too will leave them, abandon everything for those mothers. So this woman spent all her life loving and pouring out almost all her love on this particular son that is autistic. And then one day she fell ill. Do you know that this boy was crying every day? He never wanted his mom to pass. He was crying every day. Anytime I watch that video, I always cry, legit. You will see this boy tell his mom, I don't want anything to happen to you. This speech is not that clear, but you can tell this is what he's saying. Because that woman tried her best. She is, I think she's a teacher. Yeah. She's a broadcaster. Yeah, a journalist. So she tried all her best to, even when she's going for these meetings, right? She travels with him as well. So she homeschooled him herself. I don't want anything to happen to my mom. All of a sudden, the mom passed one day. And I came to the internet and I just see that that woman passed. And guess what? She just fell ill. And for like 3 days, she couldn't go to work. So she was at home. She had just leg pain. Her leg was just paining her. And then she even had a particular meeting to attend. She went with her son. The son pushed her on that wheelchair. And then when they came back home, she made posts on Facebook and all of that, only for her to sleep and not wake up. When I saw that, I was terrified. I was crazy. Hey! I started thinking about the boy. How would this boy cope? How would he cope? But the last time I saw him, he has started doing well, right? Because the mother was a very good influence too in people's lives. She was a good person. So the moment she died, a lot of her friends came together to say, okay, what do we do for this boy? We have to really step in. So, it will never be like when she was there to actually, do things for the boy, but they tried their best. During his birthdays, people from different walks of life, from places come to celebrate him. And he'll tell them, my mom is no more. It's so, so painful. But to be honest, the boy is growing. I don't know. There's a way God does these things for those kids. Once the person who is taking care of them is no longer there, God automatically steps in to become the mother and the father. I've hardly seen situation where that happens, and it's been really hard. Even the ones who are like 50 years plus, I know God really steps in one way or the other. This is, if you ask me, I'll say autism is spiritual. Even though they said it's medical, but I see it more as a spiritual case. So most times, if you're a mother here and your child is autistic, my heart is with you and I'm praying for you. Enjoy the times you're with that child. Enjoy the moments. Trust me, the child is always looking at you. He just wants, or she just wants to see you happy. And that's just, or sometimes your happiness alone will help them with speeding with their recovery process. And that is what I have to say. Right, if you know you have a child that's autistic, your grandchild that is autistic, let me see that in the comment section. And how have you been able to cope with all of this? Let's also see that in the comment section. Do not forget, my name is BJ on Global District BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.